All right, let's move on to elevator pitch and throw it over to Mr. B.P. Carlos to tell us all about this movie that we all should know about right now. Brandon.
Take it away.
All right, but Coming to America. What about
Coming
that
to
one?
America. The film came out in 1988. The movie stars Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy, James Earl Jones, and Paul Bates. Paul Bates is the real MVP. We wake up in a actually we just start on a palace and you do a whole like slow circle of life. You reveal the palace and then you hear like orchestra, whatever, just playing fiddles and violins and and it's waking up the Crown Prince Akeem, played by Eddie Murphy. He wakes up, flower petals at his feet when he walks around. Today is his 21st birthday. For your 21st birthday, I guess if you're a Crown Prince, you're like basically sold off to suit some political need for marriage. He doesn't even wipe his own ass, doesn't bathe himself, but he does get to his like bathers, which I guess is upside of being royalty. So he gets bathed or whatever, somebody washes his royal he goes downstairs to have breakfast with his parents, and he gets down there or whatever, and so Akeem talks to his folks about, maybe I don't want to get married. Then Arsenio Hall's character, Simi, comes out and he's like, I'm here to take homie to do our fighting with sticks practice. Arsenio's like, wait, you don't want a woman to just do whatever the hell you want? What the f***'s wrong with you? So at this engagement party, Akeem meets his bride-to-be, and she is basically like, you know, a really attractive doorknob. He asks her to like hop on one leg, and she just starts hopping on one leg. He asks her to bark like a dog. She just starts barking like a dog. His dad comes, he's like, what are you f***ing doing? James Earl Jones' character is like, you want to go bang out some uglies? All right, son, go bang out some uglies and come back and you get married in like 40 days. Hakeem goes back and he talks to Arsenio, and he's like, yo, Arsenio, we can go to LA, we can go to New York. Which one do you want to go to, bud? We're going to Queens!
You dumb what the fuck do you want?
We need your most meager accommodations, sir. And he's like, oh, cool, this is easy. And then you walk in, you see like chalk lines. Shame what they did to that dog, though. We'll take it, great. They go out on the town. They go to a bunch of dates. That's a fun thing. And Arsenio Hall's in drag. And then his reaction to himself in drag in that scene is,
I worship the devil.
After that, you finally get to Black Awareness Night, where Randy Watson and Sexual Chocolate.
Ain't that sweet? Ain't that so sweet?
We finally meet Lisa. She's got this ancient boyfriend, Daryl. His parents own like this weird fucking Jerry Curl product. Soul Glow Bro. Like, they hand out like donation baskets like they do at church or whatever, because the reverend's up there being creepy and Daryl passes his basket, Hakeem gets their basket, and just drops like a fucking fat stack of cash in that. Just like, because he's like mesmerized. He's met the love of his life. He goes and gets a job at McDowell's. He's never pushed a mop before. He does that. That's fucking weird. He goes to a St. John's basketball game at the Garden with fucking Lisa, and he's like double dating with Lisa and Daryl, and he's going on a date with Patrice, who's Lisa's younger sister. They're sitting there, and fucking Patrice is a thought, and she like gives him a nice little handy. Yes! I don't know if it's before or after the game, but Samuel Jackson makes an appearance in this film. Gets the kicked out of him by Hakeem. So he eventually edges Daryl out of the way. Hakeem does, and he and Lisa start to form this little romance they got going. It's like 2 dates or whatever before she finds out that he's actually like a crown prince or something. She's like, I don't know. I'm just no, I don't want it, Hakeem. I don't want it. Well, okay. But this is after James Earl Jones and the coolest person in the whole film show up. So Hakeem's like, I'm not getting married to that fucking bitch. Probably still hopping on one foot and barking like a dog. We've never done it that way. They get back to Zamunda. Hakeem thinks he's gonna marry Barky Dog Lady homegirl, and turns out when he lifts her veil to see who he's marrying, it's none other than the goddamn Loch Ness monster. No, it's Lisa. It's Lisa. Lisa's there, and that's like that was a nice payoff in that film, the first film. And then after that, the second movie starts the same way the first movie does. You see the Kingdom Palace of Zamunda. Akeem and Lisa, they're still together after all this time. Akeem just gets the kicked out of him by his 3 daughters. James Earl Jones is in his bed. Akeem goes with Arsenio. Arsenio's like, you can talk to your dad. He's like, oh, okay, I'll go talk to my dad. Because my dad's my dad. I gotta talk to my dad. So he goes to talk to his dad. Before you even see James Earl Jones, you're basically like briefed that he's not in the best health. James Earl Jones is like, we got good news for you. And this like weird witch thing, Dr. Man, you do have a son. Follow the Thunderbird, you dumb bitch. And he shows up like this half-ass drawing. Dude, that sounds solid. We gotta go follow up that lead then. And this is the point in the story where Simi finally reveals to Akeem that he basically allowed his friend to be date raped. You get the whole pumpkin pie wafting part of the scene with Leslie Jones. She's so f***ing good at her job, it hurts me physically. You finally see like Akeem's bastard son, who looks like Remy Malek The Weeknd. I don't know the name of the actor, I really don't care, but his jawline is way too strong to be an actual, like, human being. He's just got, his jawline's too strong. Anyway, so we got this weird Bruno Mars hybrid running around as Akeem's son. Strongly jawed man. So Akeem goes to New York. Akeem and his bastard son meet. I don't remember his name. I'm never gonna say it. He's just Akeem's bastard son. Before that, James Earl Jones is like, we should have my funeral early. So they have like a whole fucking Broadway street production of Rent. Wesley Snipes is, remember in the first movie, Commander Izzy? Well, now it is Commander Izzy's son, General Izzy, who is a I don't even know what kind of like cartoon Wesley Snipes is playing in this film, but it's brilliant. So you're gonna let my son marry your daughter? And Akeem's oldest daughter is like not having any of that shit because that dude's a fucking punk bitch. And she knows he's an ain't shit bitch. She's like, nah, I don't do that. And I'm like, good. They get to New York, Simi and Akeem, and where's the first place they go? Barbershop, because those dudes know where everybody's at. And one of the old dudes recognizes the like general like line drawing of this dude's like, yeah, I know that kid. He scalps tickets outside of the St. John's games. Akeem approaches his bastard son. He's like, I think you're my son. He's like, I don't. And so he takes him to his mom's house. He's like, Mom, do you know? And then she's like, it's my print. We get back to Zamunda, and of course, this dude has lived in Queens his whole life with his mom and his uncle, and basically all the kings and queens of comedy. He's kind of weirded out by things. Then he learns about the bath women, the bath ladies, and he's like, wait. So there's Prince trials. He has to go through these Prince trials, and I'm not talking like he has to play every instrument and create an album by himself. So he's introduced to this bad bitch. If Eddie Murphy doesn't say yes to an arranged marriage with Izzy and his group of people, that Izzy's gonna have Eddie Murphy assassinated. The son's down because he's just like, this is his first day of being a prince. Like, you know what the fuck's up. He goes through these princely trials, and I kind of got bored and didn't pay attention for a little bit, and I want to apologize for that. Akeem's oldest daughter is like basically been trained to be the empress or queen her entire life, so she's just like on her shit, and this dude from Queens rolls in, doesn't know dick all about shit as far as being like royalty is concerned, and daddy's just gonna give him the crown because he's got a dick. This ain't no. Yeah, it's fair. She realizes that I guess the best way to help herself is to help her brother. Helps his bastard son in concocting a plan to clip the whiskers off a lion. Tracy Morgan jumps to the conclusion that is a man-eating lion. So he passes all these trials. Akeem's bastard son overhears Wesley Snipes making some snide-ass remark about pawns in a chess game, and he takes offense to that. So he grabs his whole family, and they dip back to Queens. Goes and gets his son and the royal barber from, like, God's crack house. God's crack house. Akeem's bastard son marries the barber, and Wesley Snipes gets beat up by a bunch of women. People got married, traditions were changed, bullheaded people became nicer, and, you know, the world's better off.
Why don't you subscribe? It'll last longer.